So the most resilient people I've ever met are the people who went through a hard life from a very early age, but together with the hard life, they had an upbringing of faith and an upbringing of wisdom. And if you look at the word keter, which is crown, which is in Kabbalah the, um, the peak of basically
The tree of
connecting
life.
to connect to the tree of life.
Right.
And underneath that we have wisdom, desire, and pleasure. So we'll touch on desire and pleasure in a minute. But number one, we have to understand that in order to connect to our godliness, to our godly powers, we have to connect to wisdom within us. Our instincts tell us, um, like you're really feeling crappy now. And you have a very good reason to feel crappy now. And if you want to, God forbid, take your own life,
Yeah.
you have a very good reason to feel that way.
Yes.
But my wisdom will tell me, you know what, right now you want to take your life, but you know that in 15 minutes, half an hour, you will be fine because you went through this already a million times. And you know that you've come out of it a million times.
Yes.
So you'll be fine in a few minutes. Yes, it seems like right now is the hardest time ever.
Yes, it's so true.
But you've come out of it before, and you will come out of it in 15 minutes, 80 minutes. That's the statistics. That the pinnacle of the crappy feeling lasts between 15 to 18 minutes, statistically.
Wow. And it's true.
Sometimes you drag it out for a day or two or even a week. Yeah. But it's in my power to decide to reverse the cycle. And I'm not talking to you from books. I'm talking to you from personal experience. I've been there a million times myself.
Me too.
And like if I would have heard it, and maybe that's also like a big, what's it called? Change in our world.
Right.
That the narrative of Once Upon a Time was we read it in a book, right? And there was a distance between the therapist and the client. And now there's so many people coming from the place of not I've read it in the book, but I'm talking to you from personal experience. And it's so much easier to accept it from a therapist who's been there themselves than from a therapist who talks from a book or from a lecture they've heard. Because you don't feel the personal connection. You don't feel that they understand what you're going through. But when I come and I tell you, or anybody comes and tells you, I've been there. I know how hard it is, but I promise you, you can get through it because I got through it and he got through it and she got through it. And many people have gone through it and you got through it, which is most importantly, you know that you came out of it already a million times. So you know that you can find the inner strength. Now, how do you find the inner strength?
How?
By connecting to the wisdom within you. What's the wisdom within you? And that awful pinnacle of feeling the worst, you ask Hashem and you say, please allow me to see what good comes out of it in the world, how your light is revealed in the world. How like we say in Tehillim, in actually in Hallel, when we come to praise Hashem on Rosh Chodesh, we say Yaso Yislani Yao Lamavet Lo Netanani. God had tortured me so much and hasn't let me die. Right? So you come and say, God, what good comes out of torturing me? Right? I want to bring your light into the world. I want to give light and strength and love to other people. It doesn't do any good to you to bring me so down, right? Bring your life
now you've been
through
talking
me.
about we got to become King David.
Yes, we're all King Davids inside of us.
We have to become like King David.
When it's about me, nothing comes out of it. When I sign a partnership with Hashem and I say, Hashem, we're partners in bringing your light into the world. When I'm feeling so bad, whether it's physically or emotionally, I can't bring your light into the world. So bring your light through me. Please allow me to be a vehicle, a vessel to your light in the world. Allow me to see what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? And that connects the wisdom into the moment. And that's what brings the crown back to my head.
This week is the first time I'm hearing that the universe, that God's wisdom is also all around us and what we're all constructed of, not just God's love. And that was a really, I don't know, in a way it was kind of comforting. Like there is a universal wisdom that we can tap into. Or that, and that's within us if we reach in and we seek it.
Now it's interesting to see. I mentioned that the crown was underneath Keter, but between Keter, crown, and
Uh-huh.
Chochmah, there's another three elements, which I mentioned before many times, which are faith, desire, and pleasure. Faith is the part that connects to wisdom. Even though we tend to perceive at faith um, as something emotional, faith actually connects to our wisdom because we think that faith just, kind of like pops into our hearts. No, it's I choose what I believe in. I can choose to believe in fake news or I can choose to believe in the real news. And the real
Wow.
news is God is running the world. I choose to believe that the real news is that God runs the world. And I choose to believe that epigenetics is the new the new whatever big news,
confirmation,
big news of our lives of this generation. It is. I choose to believe in those things. I choose to believe that I can change my life. I choose to believe that everything will be good. I put it through my wisdom. My instinct is I'm feeling awful and nothing's going to ever change. My wisdom is I can reverse my life no matter what. And I put that faith into me through wisdom.
Wow. But Miriam, I see it all as an evolution towards more mindfulness about how much we are able to control all the different aspects of our existence just by being mindful of everything, what we're physically feeling, and having gratitude. I'm grateful. I get up in the morning, I'm grateful.
Right.
My liver's done what it's supposed to do, my kidney's done what it's supposed to do. And even if you have an organ that's not, working
very much.
right, but the other ones are doing okay, and there's a way to compensate for the one that's not doing okay. But my whole evolution from childhood is about realizing that my mind, what I can do with my mind.
Right.
And just being more aware. I can, just the whole experience of meditating has taught me that even if I wake up and I'm feeling down and depressed, I can go to a place within myself and I can calm myself down and come to a quiet place and calm myself down. That's an incredible revelation for me. I don't have to dwell in like, okay, I got up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm going to be on the wrong side of the bed all day.
Right.
Doesn't have to be that way.
And the understanding of mindfulness and somatic experience, SE, and others is the understanding that I don't get stuck in my physical sensations, but I allow them through my physical sensations. I allow myself to go deeper and deeper into all the 5 levels of the consciousness, what we call Naran Chai, which we call Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, V'Yechida.
Okay.
Which are the deeper levels of our consciousness, the deeper levels of connecting to life, to God, to our soul.
Yes.
And experiencing our soul on the deepest level possible. And it actually says on Shabbat we get our crown back on our heads. What does it mean that we get we and it actually says that when do we get the highest or the highest level of crown on our heads on Shabbat during Kedusha and Musa.
I've
It's
heard
that time that Hashem allows us to touch on such a deep place in our soul.
People don't realize what a gift Shabbat is. They just don't realize that the whole universe shifts on Shabbat and you feel differently and you see things differently, and it's such a wonderful opportunity to take a vacation from all the mundane challenges that we have during the week, just to take a vacation think,
meditate, to pray, to
to
learn.
think on a more expansive level, on a broader level. Just we have the opportunity to do that.
Right. You can do that 24/7.
I know, but it's harder.
But at least we have one day when we have no excuses.
Yep.
When we really have time for our soul, for our consciousness.
When we can really finish a conversation, we can sit down and enjoy a meal. We can sit there for 2 hours and just enjoy a meal. It's really a wonderful gift,
Right.
which I didn't appreciate until I moved to Israel.
Right. So the thing is also not to get stuck at that physical sensation, is to ask myself, why am I going through what am I going through? Like if I'm having a physical sensation somewhere, not to stay in the physical sensation, but to ask myself, what does it mean to me? How does my body reflect my soul? Right?
It's hard to read those messages.
Right. For example, every morning we say, Baruch Atah Hashem Pokeach Ivrim. Blessed you, Hashem, for opening my eyes. In a way, it's a mindful prayer.
Yes.
It's a prayer that connects to the practice of SE, of somatic experiences.
Really?
And how? Because I can stay in the physical kavana.
Right.
I'm like, thank God that I'm not blind and my eyes are working.
Yes, I do.
Right? And even if I have glasses, thank God for the glasses, right? But I can go deeper, and I can say, I want to see a deeper perspective of life. I want to see life on a deeper level. I want my inner eyes to work, not just my outside
Wow, I never
eyes.
thought of that. I get up, I'm like, yes, my arms are working, my eyes are working, my ears are working. Yeah.
It's only my physical existence. What about my spiritual existence? What about the deeper inside of me, my deeper soul, right? So, and you can think about everything. It's like in Nishmat Kol Chai we say, Kol Atzmotai Tomana, all my bones should be speaking the glory of Hashem, right?
Yes.
How's my bones speaking the glory of Hashem? Right? We say my arms should be as large as the eagle's wings, right?
Mm.
What's that metaphor, right? I say I want to be giving to the world, just like the size of the eagle's wings.
Wow,
right?
wingspan. Oh, yeah,
I want my legs to be as light as the deer, right?
Yes.
What does it mean? It means I don't want my laziness. I don't want my heaviness. I want to hear someone needs a favor. I want to run to them. Like Avraham Avinu ran
to the 3 angels
when he was busy in the light of Hashem. For the first time, his most exalting, what's the word? Uplifting, ecstatical experience with Hashem.
Yeah.
And he sees those 3 angels and he runs after them and he starts cooking and baking and this and that, right? That's how I want my legs to be light. Why do I feel the heaviness, right? Why do I feel the laziness? I feel the heaviness and the laziness because I don't have God in my legs. I don't have God in my arms. Not enough.
Wow.
Right? If I will remember that my legs and my arms are here to serve Hashem, to do good, I will get rid of that heaviness.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? You find that you can spend all day cooking for the soldiers, and how do you do it?
Yeah, I was shocked to
where do I get the energy?
I was shocked at that revelation. Like when quite a few times I woke up. We were cooking through Thursday and Friday, and by the end of Thursday, I felt like my shoulder has come out of its place.
Mm-hmm.
And I really didn't know how I was going to do it on Friday. Finish everything.
Yeah.
And then I got up on Friday and I was like, Hashem, I got to finish this, the food has to be sent, and just, out of nowhere, like my shoulder went back in, and I was able to finish the work. So it's like connect to that spirit, connect to the soul in the heart, connect to the soul in the shoulder, connect to the soul in your knees and your legs, right? That's how you send healing to them. Connect to the soul of your eyes. Today we mentioned also in the class, Oznaim, which is ears, is not, unlike the not such successful translations which says listen with your ear. They have ears but they don't, sorry, they
Yeah,
have ears but they don't hear.
right.
It's not they have ears but they don't hear. It's we have ears but we don't listen, because the verb in Hebrew
Mm,
that connects to the word osnaim is
mm.
leha'azin. The hearing comes from the action of listening. Yes, you can overhear this music or overhear this tractor, but what are you listening to? What are you paying attention to? This is where the soul comes in. This is the meaning of a soulful life, is
Wow.
where you put your attention and intention. And that's what drives you. That's the fuel that drives the human being.
Is the class half full or half empty?
Also, yeah, yeah.
That simple phrase, it sounds kind of campy, but it's so true. That so often we look at the glass as being half empty and we have to work to fill it up.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
But are you here only to receive from Hashem?
Right.
When you're here only to receive from Hashem, you're getting emptied out.
Yes.
When you're here to give back, you get filled up. Then you become a vessel. Then you become a vehicle. Then your abundance flows to you.
There are a lot of people now living in, like in the United States, that they want to be able to give back, but they don't have as many opportunities as we have here to do that. And it's
They
funny.
don't?
No,
Why?
well, because it just isn't that much. Like, what do? You go and you volunteer in a hospital, or
First of all, there are plenty of poor people, Jews and non-Jews. There are plenty of poor people in America.
yeah,
You can give to Israel from America. There's so many needs here.
yeah. But I'm talking
There's
about literally going out, working in a soup kitchen, or it's
Yeah,
just
there's
yeah.
plenty.
You have to really, you have to
Yeah,
search for it. You have to go and.
everywhere you have to search for it. This is the intention and attention.
I don't know. In
Is the
Israel, it's so
searching.
easy to me. You know, everybody. I
It's
could go out.
easy everywhere. There are miserable people everywhere. You go
You're
out
probably right.
everywhere in
Yeah.
every city. You go out. You just open your eyes for 2 seconds. And by the way, this is the fixing of this month. Is the listening. Is the hearing. We're fixing our ears. We're learning to hear the cry of each other. It doesn't even have to be a homeless on the street. It
No,
could be my friend, my neighbor, my colleague,
that's very
my
true.
whatever, a person, the post office. It could be anywhere and everything. It could be on every corner. Just open up your eyes and ears. It's there. It's waiting for you on every intersection in life.
So, all you Americans, are you hearing that?
No, also
That
Israelis, everybody,
there
everybody,
are
everywhere,
opportunities to help people if you have that intention.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. You'll see it in the supermarket. You know, somebody doesn't have enough money to pay for the milk that they're buying, and so like you can give them a few shekels, and it makes such a big difference.
Somebody gets
Or
stuck in front of you with their credit card not going through, and maybe you can't pay their whole bill, but you can
yes, that's very
put
true.
something on your bill.
Oh yeah. It doesn't have, meaning you don't have to go to a hospital, or you don't have to go to a senior facility, or you can just like open up your eyes and your heart and
You're a
opportunity.
teacher, you're a kindergarten teacher or a teacher. You can do it in your workplaces also,
Mm-hmm.
right? I remember when I was substituting for, in schools. And I remember when the teachers next to me would tell me, come have a coffee with us. And I was like, how can I sit? Look, there's a kid there who's being outcasted by their friends. There's a kid there who didn't bring their sandwich. There's a kid there who was insulted by someone in the middle of the class by not giving them a pencil, or just by hurting their feelings by mocking them
Yeah.
for not doing their task very well or not answering whatever. There are like so many heartaches, screaming to be noticed all the time. right? It's like everywhere. And if you're a doctor and if you're a lawyer, yeah, we're there to make money. Yeah, we're there to do our job, but we're there to notice each other. We have a godly mission wherever we are, whatever we do.
And we feel an emptiness inside of us if we're not doing it.
Yes. And if we're a street cleaner, even, you don't have to be a doctor or a lawyer, whatever it is. You
Yes.
know, we need to learn to see the street cleaner as wow, if they weren't cleaning our streets, what kind of streets would we have? Right? And if you're the street cleaner, you're like, wow, Hashem, thank you for letting me clean the world for you and having a clean world.
Yes, I know. I every time I see them, and you know, especially in Israel, a lot of them are, you know, doctors and lawyers from other countries who are not able to come here and get licensed, or they can't because they can't speak Hebrew or whatever, and